that's sort of the problem. That's why we have to make this lighting control decision now, right?
Right.
I mean, once you decide that, and I'd love Janine to be on this because I don't know what she had kind of planned in y'all's budget and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
But once you make a decision that having a 6 gang of light switches at the entry is something that you have, that's there, right?
Yeah.
And so we can't, without rewiring the whole house, we can't change that, right? And so, if that doesn't bother you, then easy peasy, right? Like we move on from that topic, right? No problem. But if that's something that is a concern of yours, we should at least talk about the main areas where it would be a concern of yours. But like I said, if there's vacation modes or scene control, any of those kinds of things that that a house like this would typically have, no problem. But if that's not your thing, I'm good with not. So
yeah, I don't think it just, unless you changed your mind recently, I don't think it's something that I've heard that was important.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, is there something we could do at the panel or something that sometime in the future someone could switch it out? But if it's like you do it now or you can't, or
the problem is it's a Romex location problem, right? And so
then we'll proceed with the switches and everything on the right.
I think so.
Yeah.
If I had windows that were 20 feet high that I can't manipulate shades, I might want to do that, but
Nothing.
And I don't want something that I have on an iPad where I have to do everything from a computer, because I know in 5 years that technology will be worthless and I'll have to buy a new system, and maybe with our Spanish colonial historical theme, it will be quaint that you actually still push a light switch.
Right.
Right, and I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm not pushing any direction.
No,
I need to let you know that the options are available to do stuff like that. You wouldn't need to use it on your phone. It obviously would be, everything we do nowadays is going to be on your phone as well. It's just how it goes. But being able to kind of clean up that wall and do some of that stuff is just something that a lot of our clients are doing. Totally fine if you don't want to, but I need to let you know that's available.
Know now.
Yeah.
So, okay, do you want to walk through?
Yeah,
we
I'd
can
love
look
to.
at some places that we're going to have to. Is that door open, you think?
Some kind of intercom? Do you want a Ring doorbell? Do you want something like that?
Well, I'll need a doorbell. I'm probably not going to use Ring.
Right.
But we need doorbell.
Would you like the doorbell to be video enabled? Is that something
That's
that you
an
want?
interesting thought, but it's a glass door, so we'll see them.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's more when you're not home.
Yeah.
Right? It's when you're not home, somebody walks up. You're on a busy street, right? Somebody walks up, hits that button. Do we want to be able to notify you that that button's been pressed?
I've never had these products, so I don't know.
Or in another part of the house, which is a bigger house. It could be outside, or you can be in your bathroom and someone's smiling.
Where would I see that on? On my phone?
Yeah, it'd be on your phone. It'd be on any device that you have. We could have it go to other devices as well, but typically it's phone. It'll still ring a sound inside as well. So it's not like you have to use that, but it is the best option to be able to, if you are in the back and somebody's delivering something, you can say, hey, I'll be down in 5 minutes. Don't leave, right, or whatever it might be. It is a good idea to have. And
okay, let's say yes to that then, just to.
It's also good that if it's on the phone, even if you don't use it on your phone, if something happens, you have a record.
Yeah,
you have like it stores the face of somebody.
Okay.
So, which I don't, if I'm going out of sequence, I'm sorry, which kind of ties into more like your security. What kind of security? Do you want cameras?
Yes, I do.
Like,
I do want some security.
And so that will also be. The Ring is just your front door.
Sure.
Right.
Like if you need to see who's driven in or who's,
Yeah, that'll be a whole separate system, right?
But it can be, or it doesn't have to be, right? So if you said to me, I really don't want it to be this whole other system that I have to go and I want sort of a very simple Ring style system or Google Nest or one of these, we can totally do that. I mean, you can still put, Ring makes a separate little camera, and we could put those cameras up on the corners of the house, and you would be in one app, and you could go in and see when somebody puts the button. You could pop in, and while you're talking to them, you could look and see if their car is parked there, and who they are. If they're the UPS, UPS guy comes to the door, you could say, oh, I see the UPS truck too, right? So it is nice that it could be an all-in-one system, but it doesn't have to be. It could totally be separate. And again, we don't have to use Ring. We could use, there's much higher end stuff. There's all types of things we can do, but it's just a question of what you're looking for, right?
Well, it would have to be something that whatever security company I'm using could tie into.
Right, and we can be your security company as well. So
Okay.
unless you have a
I do not have a
relationship,
plan.
yeah. So I mean, if you have a relationship, but I mean, we are fully certified, licensed, all that kind of stuff. We use a third-party monitoring station, just like ADT or Montronics or any other people that stuff. So we could be that turnkey solution for you if
Okay.
you wanted to be.
Yeah, probably if I'm going to do any kind of camera for the front door, I'd want that to be part of the security system. Just all as one thing. So yeah, the security system is more important to me than electronic shades.
So motion detectors, glass
Yeah,
break.
so what we'll do is we'll do any operable door and window. We do glass break sensors in front of windows that are, first floor and that sort of thing. And then we typically do a motion up and down, depending on how entry works into the house. Like if there's a back entry like this, we may put a motion back by that side, put another one somewhere here, kind of in hallways. So we'll
got
lay
the
all
plans,
that out.
right?
Of course,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
have- you know where all this
and we'll lay all that out on a set of
perforations
plans,
are.
and you'll get that before we start, and we'll walk that together, and you'll know exactly what's going where,
Okay.
all that kind of stuff. So.
All right, so I guess, so we're looking at
Yeah.
some sort of door camera and doorbell.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, and then as we walk in, I mean, I just want to kind of do either TV locations,
Okay.
audio locations.
Okay.
Obviously we know that Wi-Fi is as important as lights today, so
Right.
making sure you have great internet and Wi-Fi is sort of for our systems to work, you have to have it. So
Yeah.
so we're going to make sure that happens either way. So you don't need to really tell me, hey, I need great Wi-Fi here. We're going to make sure if there's somewhere you want a desktop computer or a plugged-in internet connection, I'd like to know that. But mostly it's TV locations. Yes, I care about audio in this room. This is how I feel like we're going to use it.
Okay,
that
so
sort of
guide
thing.
me through. So this area here, there's going to be a big TV
Okay.
on that wall.
Okay.
I think I've picked out the one I like.
This is
It's
considered your family room?
Yes,
Okay. A 98 inch?
I think it is.
Yeah, Samsung or Sony?
Yeah, I wrote down the name of it.
Yeah, and we can provide all that for you. So
Yeah.
we're authorized dealers of everything.
Oh,
so
okay.
You won't have to, we'll warranty it. We'll do everything. for you.
Okay, all right.
Very simple.
So, yeah, and I have the one I was looking at. I've been doing homework on TVs, so.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, you're not ready for that. I would
Right.
tell you, we don't want to buy that until like
Till,
a couple of weeks, 3
Before
months,
we
a
move
month
in.
before you move in,
Yeah.
right? And I don't want the money either until, because there's just
They
technology,
drop, yeah,
and
they
they just
drop in
change,
price,
right?
yeah.
They change in price. Now, if you end up deciding, and we'll help guide you through this, if you end up deciding to build a cabinet and it's going to sit recessed in it and
That's
it needs
what
to be
it's
the right
doing.
size,
Yes.
then
but
we may want to
there's
buy.
gonna be an area that, an inch or two won't matter.
Right,
It just
right.
needs center.
And so that would be the only case where we'd say, hey, let's buy it early,
Yeah.
sit on it, is, hey, it's gonna be perfect, it needs to be this size. If Samsung decides next year that they're gonna make a 99 instead of a
It'll be
98.
sort of like a wallpaper, that
Yep.
area will be wallpapered,
Yep.
and it will just center it.
Okay, perfect.
But with the TV, I don't know, like what kind of sound bars or, I don't even know what you want.
Well, so
Yeah.
it's really your call. So, I mean, if you don't want an automation system per se, we can make this super easy. You use are you guys gonna have cable or are you just gonna stream it everything?
I
Do you-
think
have you
I'm gonna
thought about it?
stream it. I've had cable forever, right? And I'm in a temporary rental home right now, and so I'm using Fire Stick
Sure,
and
yeah,
trying
absolutely.
Hulu, and it's the first time going like cableless.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it seems to be working, and I'm not sure that
Yeah.
we need cable.
No, so that's
and I
great.
think everyone's sort of moving away from it anyway, right?
It's totally your call, right?
I mean, is there any reason to do cable at this point?
I mean, the only real reason is sports, right? If you're a big sports person,
Some of it's cable.
some of that is like they have They have relationships with the cable providers, and those are going to change. I mean, it sounded like today the MLB released something that there won't be blackouts anymore. So you won't have to really worry. You'll be able to use, like, if you're a big baseball person, you could have the MLB TV app, and you could watch every game on that. So, you know, so I think that's all changing. But currently, the only reason would be if you were a big sports watcher,
Okay, yeah.
you know, we probably. But outside of that, the only other thing, and you've already experienced this, is that you don't have channel numbers anymore,
Right,
right?
yeah.
And so a lot of clients, like, that's
Yeah,
really
that-
painful,
that's a
right?
weird thing, yeah, it's
Right.
finding the
Exactly.
channel that you want on the,
Right.
like the multitude of.
Right, and our team can help you
Yeah.
kind of create your own
You
new
know,
guide.
you need an ABC app, an
Right.
NBC app, a CBS
Correct.
app,
But
you
now
know,
you can talk into the remote.
Right.
and say the title, but you still
Right.
have to make sure all those apps get activated so
Right.
that you
True.
can.
That's
yeah.
right. It's just painful, right? Like
Right.
it isn't as easy as like, oh, I know that's channel 2, right?
Yeah.
And I just go to channel 2 and it's done, right? So
Yeah.
it's like we've changed the way we watch TV, and now it's like, and you'll hear it when you say, hey, I saw this new show. The first question is, well, what app is it on, right? And so like,
Yeah.
it's a different way of using TV, and as long as you're okay with saying, hey, I'm willing to take that jump, and it sounds like you already have.
I've done
then-
it as a test run,
Yeah.
and I seem to be okay with
Right,
it.
and you'll be there 6 months, a year, whatever it is, so you'll really have a good idea of if it works for you. And once you've sort of made that decision, then like, we don't really need a control system at all. You could just use the Fire Stick or the TV's built-in apps
Yeah.
and just use the TV remote. And if you want it, if you say, hey, I really want that, then the easiest solution is probably just to do like a Sonos system, right? Where it's, you know, a cool soundbar underneath the TV. We can have a custom box made for the soundbar so that it looks like it's the same width as the TV. So it looks really pretty. We put some rear speakers in the ceiling, and it's really just, you know, Sony remote, TV
Yeah, all
remote,
that comes
and that's
on and
everything comes
that
on.
sounds good.
And there's no control system, there's
Yeah.
no difficulty.
That's what
And,
I
and so
like.
we're seeing that a lot with clients who are not super technical, and so like, I don't want to have to reset stuff all the
Yeah.
time. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to.
Right.
Well, that solves all of those problems. So this room's really easy. The only thing that we'll need to change or we'll need to decide soon would be that if the TV is going to sit flat on the wall, like if there's a cabinet being built, then I'm not super worried about it. But if it's going to sit flat on the wall, we may frame out for a back box for that TV so that the mount can sit flush against the wall as well.
And that's plenty of depth, like, you know, because it's gonna be, yeah, it's all good
Okay.
cabinetry.
Yeah. So if it's
And it's
cabinetry,
coming
then
out to here, so.
yeah. So then it's cabinetry. I don't care about the TV sitting off the wall. But as we walk the house, you need to tell me, hey, I want to do a Samsung frame TV here, and if we're going to do something like that, I need to know that, hey, we may need a frame for a back box
Yeah, we
here or
don't need
something
it
like
here.
that. Yeah, perfect.
And then this
So-
is a void here, I don't know.
Oh, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I just jumped in at the last
Oh, yeah,
minute
sure,
about
yeah.
something you were saying, and I wanted, because we were talking about streaming, or are you, when you're doing streaming, are you using like Apple TV or?
So it's totally up to you guys, right? I mean, we tend to try if we can, we try to keep. If you're doing a control system, you're doing a whole bunch of other stuff, then I would tell you, yeah, we like to use an Apple TV or a Fire Stick or a Roku because then you get the same experience at every TV.
Right.
But if you're not, and you're really like saying, hey, I don't want any control system at all, I really like the idea of trying to make, use all the same manufacturer TVs and then just use the features of the TV.
But what
right?
about the quality of the video? And I'm bringing this up because I have a TV in my house that I stream,
Yep.
and I have a TV, and this is just personal
Yeah.
experience, TV in my house that I have on Apple TV.
Yep.
And now, the picture is clearer on the Apple TV.
So I would say that was the case probably if the original TV was a little bit older. But the new TVs all the new 4K TVs have the same.
Okay.
Now
I
I
thought
will
it was
tell you
4K.
and I will tell you that we do kind of recommend that this is where buying a little bit more expensive TV matters, right? If you say, hey, I really want to pick up a Vizio TV, or a Costco, Costco makes their own. Sony makes TVs at Costco and Samsung TVs at Costco, but they're a different model number. Right? And if you go and say, hey, I really want to just pick these up from Costco, in that situation, I would tell you, hey, let's look at an Apple TV, or let's look at a Roku, or let's look at something like that, because that's where they save money. They save money by making the internal processor much slower. And they, you know, there are things that you may never notice if you aren't using the features of it. But the second that's your main feature, like if you go and hit that and the Netflix app takes like, you know, 35 seconds to go and open, well, that's something that it's going to drive you crazy because you're going to be in it every day. And so that's where we say, hey, you know, spending a little bit more and getting, like Sony makes what's called a masterclass TV, right? It has the best processor in it. It has all of that kind of stuff. And they're not grossly more expensive, right? They're $300 more. And then you're getting the ability to use all of the features, and you're getting a much better TV. I mean, the TV is obviously, the picture on the TV is better as well.
So it depends on which TV you're adding
Absolutely.
to the system.
Absolutely. And
But
listen,
you can use multiple TVs and multiple things.
do whatever you'd like. And we're here, our job is to support what you guys want, right? I don't want to sell you anything. I want you to tell me.
But you can go cableless, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
You can. Okay.
So
Absolutely.
you want to educate.
I want to
Yeah.
educate.
Just like you did.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when we say cableless,
Yeah.
right, we're still running a ton of cable in the house, and we still want all of this to be hardwired
Just
back
not
to
cable
the-
TV.
Right. No cable TV, but I do want to hardwire these TVs. I don't want to try and do the TVs wirelessly and, you know, and then gets choppy, and, you know, we want to, if we have the opportunity right now, the house is open, let's put wire in the house and stuff like that. So so even still, like what you said earlier, if you said, hey, Paul, we're going to do that Sonos thing, obviously I need less wire if we're going to do Sonos because a lot of that stuff is wireless. I'm still going to, in my proposal, I'm still going to run wire for that.
Okay.
And that way, if the person who comes in or you guys decide, hey, I really want a much louder, bigger experience in this room, well, we have that upgrade path because the
Okay.
wire's already there.
Okay.
I agree with that
Okay.
completely.
Good. All right, so in here, large TV, sound bar, and like you said, a couple of speakers.
Yeah,
So-
sounds great.
Okay. So this is going to be a study, and
And this is the family room, I see?
yeah.
So, I just wanna make sure.
And so, I think this area here or wherever, this is where internet, should be, you know, located, right? Because-
Hardwired internet?
Yeah.
Are you going to have a desktop or something in
Yeah.
here?
Mhm.
And then, do you see yourself listening to music while you work in here?
You know, and again, this is crazy. So I have these Bose portable speakers, and I just load, you know, put on the Spotify, and I take it with me all through the house. My
Right,
phone,
well-
my, you know, so
And if it was that easy, and it would just, you didn't have to carry anything with you,
yeah.
would you use it? I mean, that's the question.
Well, yeah, in this room, that's probably all I'll need, because no one will be in this area but me, right? I mean, maybe in the study, but I'm not, you know, but like speaker system or sound system that goes from the living room, the foyer, the dining room, and kitchen. I guess that would be somewhere that sound is
In the
important.
exterior, right?
And then outside in that courtyard and outside on this patio. So those are, you know, that would be nice if I had sound.
Right, and if you're, but I guess my question is, if you're already listening to music, you're sitting in the kitchen, you turn on some music, and you walk in here to do some work.
Well, it could go in here too, it's a
Right.
wall, right, one wire.
Right, well, that's the question, is should I make sure that we have wire in the ceiling here for a pair of speakers so you could say, hey, I really do like the idea, once I put it in, I really do
Go
like the
anywhere
idea.
in the house and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
play,
yeah, you can,
yeah.
and you can add it, and you can control volume levels in each room.
Yeah.
It's just a question of whether or not that's something you care about.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And you don't have to put the speakers in now, at least
Right,
he's
of
running
course.
the wires for
Right.
it, and then you have it if you want it.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, perfect. And then, what are we here?
So this is the master bedroom.
Okay.
Again, I don't know that I need speakers in here, but, and so just the bulk of the wiring is here. Are you gonna have a TV in here?